Well, hello everyone. April here from Dragons and Dresses Craftsorium. I'm glad you joined me today. If you're new here, welcome, 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 and maybe you'll consider subscribing once you've watched the video. And if you are not new here and you're a subscriber, well, thank you for coming back and hanging out with me today. I'm going to try something a little different today. I'm going to use Sculpey 3, which is not the greatest Sculpey there is because it's very not brittle, but it's not strong either. But it's the only one I could find with glow in the dark. So yes, I'm going to do a glow in the dark project. And we're going to put it on string lights for later use. And I'm going to use glow in the dark pigment powder to brush on it at the edges because I want it to be two different colors. Because this is the regular glow in the dark and this is an aqua. So with that, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to take the Sculpey 3 out of the package and add a little bit of the blue to one part of it. I'm going to cut it in quarters because you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't need my blades or anything right now to do this because I'm just trying it out. So I wanted to try it out with you guys. I'm only going to use half a block. It's very, very soft. So, and I don't have my house heated up or anything. So, I mean, it's Florida. I don't need to. All right, so we're going to condition this and then I'll be right back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the tops have the aqua on them and the bottom. Oh, I'm making mushrooms, by the way. So I'll have the tops with the aqua in it and the bottom or the stem, the shoot, whatever, the stalk part is just going to be this because I want to be able to put a hole in it at the bottom so I can glue the fairy lights in it later for a different project, which I got the inspiration from Art, but she used the UV resin clay. I have that, but I haven't tried it yet. And I want to do it this way because I like polymer clay as well. And if it doesn't work, they'll still be glow in the dark and I can still use them in other projects. All right, so let's add a little bit of the aqua to this one and get it worked. I forgot and had my phone still turned on. You can see my reflection changing. It's because I can see my reflection in the camera, but I keep looking at the computer. So let me move my mouse. No, I'm not looking off to the side. I'm looking at the computer screen, making sure that I'm still in view. And now you can see my light. I had this set up good, but okay. All right, let's add a little bit of the glow in the dark to this. Well, if I can get it. The other day I resined it closed. So there it goes. Okay. And where did I put the spoon? There it is. I do all sorts of crafts, so I just wanted to do something a little different this time. And I love polymer clay. And I'm going to be doing some teaching how to do, well, not teaching because it's not really teaching. I'm going to be showing how I make dragon eyes also out of the glass cabochons that we get when we order the jewelry bezels. We have all these glass cabochons left over. Well, I'm going to show how to use them and make some dragon eyes. I'm going to work this in, make sure I get all that up. You can also add a little bit of the liquid polymer clay to the powder. Mix it together and add it in there as well. Let's see if it's going to glow. Let's see, it already glowed. Well, you can't see it. Duh. It glows green. But I wanted it to glow with the blue also. Maybe I could paint the blue on after I get them made. That's a good idea, April. So I'm just going to make little balls and use a ball tool to create, it's like a half a circle, but I want to create the cap for the mushroom. So I'm going to put it on the end of it and then reform the mushroom. And I'm going to make several of these, and then I'll put them in the toaster oven, because I have a separate toaster oven that I use just for polymer clay. I do not put it in my household oven because it's toxic to your food when you're cooking later. But they don't have to be perfect, because nothing in nature is perfect. So we're going to see, I've got that perfectly underneath there, and we can roll it a little bit to put it in there. Now you can, if you're going to use these for just for like decoration purposes, you can always put a little bit of wire in it. I think this one came from Joann's, Heidi and Joe. But you can get it off Amazon. You can get it off the orange and white place, which we don't say the name. Otherwise, we wind up ordering. And you can just stick this in there too. But since I'm going to be using it for polymer, what do you call them things? Fairy lights? Yeah, that's it. I wanted to make sure that they were Yep. I just had a brain fart, y'all. Words are hard. But what I'm going to do is, with my, because I have the 20 string fairy lights that I got from Amazon. And with these, the first set that I use, I have to make sure that they all work by taking it out and making sure that all the lights work, because it was every other one that worked on the last thing that I used these on. And that was kind of weird, because it's literally every other light that's working. I've taken it apart and everything, but it's so far it's just the only one that's like that. So these are like fairy lights. Okay, so I know that they work. Now what I'm going to do with it, well, the one on the end is pretty easy because it's just a wire. So it can just go stick right up inside the, or be formed around it. And you want to smooth out your seam or your line. It's not going to stay in here while it's being baked because these will melt in the oven. Oh, that looks kind of not nice. This is super soft clay too. So another thing that you can do, since that's not going to work, we're doing this together, is I have these El Cheapo little paint brushes. So we can roll it into a little log. And then on the wider end, because you want it to taper a little bit, poke the stick up inside and make sure it moves freely in there. You can waller it out and make sure it's flat. Now you can use the Sculpey, I have a liquid polymer clay here that's a glow-in-the-dark clay. I also have the Kato I can't think, words are hard. And you can glue them together, or you can just sit them inside like that, because raw polymer clay will stick to raw polymer clay and it will bake like that. So there's one little mushroom. Let me make a couple more and then I'll go put them in the oven and get right back to you. So I just recorded all of this, but I have to record it again because I forgot to hit record. So I was going to show you how to do the ones on the wire as well, not just the ones with the holes for the lights, but the ones on the wire, which I hope those work in the lights. I'm going to have to break them off and then check them before I add them to the lights permanently. But you want to take your piece for your stem and put your wire on it, and I want it bent a little bit, so you can either pre-bend your wire or do it once you have the clay on there. And then what I do is I roll it up, and you don't want to hold the end of the wire while you're pushing this around, because it'll ream out your clay and it'll cause it to be too loose for you to keep it on the wire. And always have some sticking out the bottom. You can always cut it shorter if need be, but you need that wire there so that you can attach it to whatever project you're going to add this to. Now this one is calling for 275 for 15 minutes per 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to put these in for 30 minutes, and I'm going to add them or not add them, but put an aluminum tent over the top. It keeps the heat in, but keeps it from burning. So if you have more than one brand that you're using, always go with the highest temperature and make sure you tent it. And if you have to, make sure you take those pieces out. They're only a few degrees difference really for the different brands, but you never know. All right, let me go ahead and try to get some of this powder brushed on here with the Sculpey, the liquid Sculpey, which I got it from Amazon as well. And because it's hard to find that here. Is it even open? Yes, it was open. Great. Okay. This is just a little piece of plexiglass that I have. I had cut extra ones, other pieces cut for my Let's Resin double tiered light thingy. I got it as a Christmas gift. All right, that's probably more than enough. I may have to add more liquid clay to it, but that's okay. And this comes in a baggie for $16.99, but the color, the glow lasts for a while. And it came from Amazon. I'll put all the links below. I'm going to add a little bit more liquid clay to it right there because I'm going to brush it on with the silicone brush here. You can use a paintbrush. You can use your finger. It's not going to hurt anything. It just gets really sticky. And you don't have to worry about your clay drying out or anything because it won't dry out right away, especially not the Sculpey 3. Okay, I'm going to paint these on here, right here at the edges. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't necessarily want it to be perfect. I want it to be smooth, but I don't want it to be perfect. How about I use the little paintbrush that I had out? How about it? Or how about I just use my finger? That way I can roll it around on there and it'll give it a little texture, but it'll still be adding it on there, I hope. We'll see. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll know together. It's got a texture on it now. Hit it with the glow. I don't see the blue. Oh, because I'll use glow in the dark Sculpey too. Okay, that's on there with that. How about I try just a little powder? It's experimentation day, y'all. So let me roll that just in the powder too. See if that helps. It gives it a texture. What I'm not using, I'm putting back. Oh, it gives it a different color. I'll have to turn my lights out so y'all can see it. Lights going out. It gives it a different color. You can see the difference in the colors. Let me see what the stem looks like lit up. Yeah, it gives it a different color. That's pretty cool. And these are going to go in the string lights. Lights are coming back on. Look away. So I'm going to finish these up. I'm going to go ahead and use this glue that I already have, the liquid Sculpey, and just add it to this one. Ooh, and look, I'm going to dip it right down in my jar with that liquid Sculpey, and the rest of that will brush off once it's cooked. Now, if you're going to cook it on a tile, a ceramic tile, and you don't want it to have a shiny spot, make sure you put paper, parchment paper, wax paper. You can use copier paper, notebook paper. That way it doesn't give it a shiny side, because whatever's down on the tile, because it's nice and shiny, that will wind up being shiny in the end. So Let me sprinkle a little powder on that one. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm just sprinkling the powder on it because I put that liquid Sculpey on there, and then tap off the rest. And my hole is still there. Make sure before you bake it that you make sure the hole is still there, and it is. All right, let me get these in the oven and I'll be back with you guys when they're done and they're cooled off, of course. Now that I've got a lot of the pieces done, I think I'll just gonna go ahead and do a time lapse on how I finish them up and put them together. I've got everything separated. I just need to make a few more stalks. But we're gonna mute and enjoy the music. But I think I'm going to make a few rocks to go in between them as well. Not just mushroom, but have glow-in-the-dark rocks too, because I have all sorts of different colors of glow powder that I can brush onto the tops of them. For the rocks, I'm just going to leave a little line in there that I can drill out a little later if I need to, or sand it out with a rat tail file. But I want to put that in there so that the light can just be sitting right inside it. And there's a little pebble, rock, small boulder, depending on how big you are. You can give it texture also with the end of your paintbrush like that, just and then rub it over if it's too sharp. Give it a little bit of texture. I have to have a total of 20 things to go on there. So far I have 12 mushrooms, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mushrooms and 2 rocks. So I'm going to continue to do this and I'll be back with you when I'm done. I also just figured out to make a different rock with all that. I have the Druzy pendant molds from Julie at Pouring Your Heart Out, Julie Cuts, and I'm going to take a ball of the clay, lay it in there. I've cut mine apart because I like doing just one at a time. And then you press, I'm pressing the paintbrush in there so I can make the hole, and look at the texture it gives it. That would be a pretty cool pebble too, which I might do that with this bigger one, or the smaller one right here, in a different spot on there. It's already got the groove in it, so I just have to kind of just leave it there and round it out, and it gives it a texture. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm almost done. I only got one more to do, and then I'm going to stick them in the oven, and when they're done, I'll come back. Okay, these have all been made now, and they are dusted with different colors of glow-in-the-dark powders from from solarcolordust.com. That's local here in my town, solarcolordust.com. And the other one is from Amazon, glow-in-the-dark, the aqua, but they have it at Solar Color Dust as well. I'll put all the links down below. All right, I'm going to go put these on a tile and go put them in the oven. All right, I'll be back when they're cooled. Okay, well, I'm back. I have baked them, and I did not pay attention and make sure that the back part of my tray or my tile was covered with the tint, and a few of them got a little bit on the toasty side. So I'm just going to try to fix them with a little Duraclear coat. Nope, what's it called? Duraclear satin varnish, because I don't really want them shiny, and put a little bit of different colored glow-in-the-dark powders on them in that Duraclear, because they do shine. Let me activate them a little bit. I mean, they do glow, rather. As you can see, they still glow. And sorry if you can hear my dryer, because I am right outside my laundry room is my craft room. But we're going to fix that. Let me get set up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have the Duraclear satin varnish here, and I have the 3 that have the red on it. I had to look at them to make sure I had the right ones. And I'm going to add a little bit of the Duraclear and some of the red and mix it together. Well, of course you're going to mix it together, April. Wow. But I want it to be really good and saturated too, because I wanted to do the satin finish, because I have matte satin, and no, I don't have matte. I have gloss and satin varnish. Joann's was out the day I got that. And then I have the sealer. But that's okay. That's neither here nor there. I don't know why I told you that, because it's me. I'm going to mix that. Oop, get out of there. Mix that together so I can paint it on. This one, it had it just on the tip, but the powder is kind of powdery still, so I should have known better and just added it to it. You can also add this glow-in-the-dark powder to the clear polymer clay, the translucent, and it will work just as well. I'm just checking it now to see. Oh, I'm trying to get, oh, I had a paintbrush in my mouth. I'm trying to get it to where you guys can see. There it is. Oh, you can see the red glow over here on the desk. So just trying to make sure that I get plenty of it on here, and it can give it some texture too that way. Now I gotta figure out where I'm going to put them so that they can dry. Didn't think about that. Okay, that's not going to work. All right, let me work this out, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so what I did is I just put it on the end of the paintbrush that I used to make the hole, and I'll just figure out somewhere to stick this while it dries. Oh, I've got plenty of stuff right up there, and I've got lots of those paintbrushes here. I think I got 50 of them for 50 cents one down at the store. I think it was Michael's in the clearance rack. So I'm going to paint these and do the same thing, and then I'll come back when I get them all done, and when I get ready to do the ones that are a little crunchy, we'll show you how I'm going to fix those. I'll see you in a few seconds. Okay, so now that I've got all those painted and I have little mushrooms sitting all over my desk, we're going to try to fix these that have, these are all going to stay green, that have the little burn spots on them. I'm going to try something a little different. I hope it's going to work. They still glow. If they don't glow, if it doesn't work, I can always make some more, but at least I'll try. I mean, they still have some glow to them. Let's see. These are the ones that got a little overcooked. Just a wee bit. They still have some glow. Not a lot, but they have some. So what oh, you can see those though, right? Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some UV resin, brush it on, and then put some of the opalescent energy on there, because I still want it to be glow in the dark, but I want it to be kind of sparkly, see-through-y at the same time. So that's perfect, because this way these will have glitter on them, or glitter-esque, so to speak. This is the Glitter Hippo Dream Flakes opalescent energy. So we're going to try that with a little bit of UV resin. Let me put a glove on, because I think I have become allergic to UV resin, because every time I use it, I break out on my arms. So yeah. And you know, I keep getting harped on safety first. You should wear UV, you should wear gloves, and you have some, so wear them. So here we go, gloves. Okay, now where was I at? What was I doing? I forgot. Somebody tell me. Oh, here we go. UV resin. Maybe. There we go. And I'm just going to use my fingers to spread it on there, which I had my rings on earlier and completely forgot, because I was out of the house today, this morning. Now it's raining, so if you hear the rain, I do apologize, but there's not really too much I can do about rain. All right, so I just brushed it on with my finger, and then I'm going to do what I hate doing, but I don't want to get it everywhere either. I'm just going to stick it in and pull it out. Yes, I know. That's what she said. But it's got sparkles on it now, and I'm going to put that under the light real quick to set it, and then I'll put it in the Easy Bake Oven over here. And hopefully that will catch, oops, I just dripped UV on something. Hopefully that will catch, not catch, some of that brown where it got a little toasty. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I can just toss these and make some more, but you know, I'd like to try to save them if possible. Okay. Stick that over here. So when I get ready to do them all at the same time, we're just going to coat this one the same way. I could make them all different colored Mylar flakes too. Ooh, there's an idea for the next time. All right, let's dip it in, pull it out. Super sparkly! Ta-da! If my camera would focus, it would be very helpful. And I thought I had it on autofocus. Yeah, I do. Let me see if I can turn that off without sticking myself to my mouse. Well, it's not going to cooperate right now, so there we go. Kinda, sorta. The light might be too bright. Oh yeah, that was good, April. I wiped it all off. Okay. right, let me cover these and I'll be back with you in just 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Well, for you guys, it's like instantly, but for me, it's going to be a couple minutes. Okay, those are now cured. So next thing we're going to do is, I'm not going to put the gloves on. I'm just going to try really hard not to touch it. Oh, and I don't want this plexiglass under here either. Well, I don't need to get that all yucky, do I? Well, thank you for answering. I heard that. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this. I'm just putting a dab of the UV resin. Well, it's getting everywhere, but it'll peel off. Resin on so I can stick it inside. All right, that didn't work. So what we'll do now is I'll just put a little dab on the end. Can you see everything okay? Okay, I don't know what happened, but I lost my monitor for a minute there. I'm going to put a little dab. I need to fill this jar up. On the end of that, freeze it in place by flash curing it. Not flash curing it, but yeah, flash curing. That's the right word. In place with a wire going in each direction. And then once I get them all done, I can put them in my little Let's Resin double-sided thingy-majiggy light thing over here. You guys know what I mean. If you've been following me for a while, because I don't know what I mean all the time. Can someone explain it to me? Okay, here we've got that. And I'm just going to continue to do that with the different mushrooms and the rocks. And I will get that done and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done with it. All right, I'll be back in momentarily. Voiceover April here. I forgot to hit the unmute button on my microphone. I'm all done with them, and this is the string turned on, and they all glow. Pretty cool, and it's for a project that I'm working on. This is just one element that I'm going to be using. And I got my inspiration from tea and art. But look, there's more. They will glow as soon as they are charged up. You can see a little bit of the glow here. There you go. Now you can see it better. But if I were to put it under my Let's Resin light or any UV light that's stronger than just a little torch, it would be a real dramatic glow. So stay tuned to the end of the video for some still pictures of the actual glow out from underneath the Let's Resin light. I will have all the links below, and if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the thumbs up or like button. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment below.